Alright, what up? Today's a rest day for me. I'm on a recovery ride, so yeah, we got that going on today. It's going to be easy spinning. Oh, real quickly, I think I have music playing in the background while I'm streaming and talking. Let me know if that music is too loud. If it's too loud, I'll turn it down, or I might just get rid of it altogether. If it's very subtle in the background and it's not that big of a deal, then I'll just let it play. But yeah, welcome. Like I said, I'm going to be on here doing a recovery ride. So if we can, oh no, where is my, hello, sir, no. Give me the power source, come on, where you at? Dude, I know you're here. Where's my power source? Ah! This is frustrating. Anyways, where'd it go? It was just here. Yeah, try waking up your devices. I am. I got this. Okay, let's search. Resistance, there we go. Huh. Doesn't show up right now. That's super weird. Anyways, I'll rejoin that bot. But yeah, today we got the just chatting away. So Q&A, any questions? Let's roll with it, and then we'll go from there. Let me try taking this battery out. Ooh, so we got some. There we go. Boom. Oh, dude, you were just there. There we go. Check this out. Teleport. Let's go. All right. We are in business. There we go. Cool. Yeah. Easy recovery ride today. So that's what's going on. Yeah, hit me up with any questions, anything you got. I'm here for the next 1 hour. Gonna be hopefully helping you guys out with anything. Video dropped this morning. Just dropped a video this morning. Super excited about that. It's a good one, just talking about Zone 2 stuff. So a lot of people had questions about Zone 2. So I talked about that, and also how incorporating high cadence with Zone 2 is super important. So, but yeah. In for just a little spin today, a little nice, light, easy spin. We had snow flurries this morning. Now it's just kind of like it's like we'll drizzle a little bit and stop, and drizzle and stop. So one of the reasons why I'm inside, riding my Willier Zero today. Haven't ridden this bike in a while. Actually, I took it out to go ride yesterday. Got like, I don't know, 50 feet down the road. I went to shift. It wouldn't shift. I was like, what the heck? My battery was dead. So I come inside, change it over to back to my Palante, and ride that yesterday. So I actually tweaked my fit on my Palante Ended up lowering my saddle a little bit, moving it forward slightly. If you haven't, I use my VeloFit. My VeloFit is super cool. So post ride, I ended up moving the saddle on this too to mimic it. But post ride, after like my legs get warm, I'll put a camera over to my left and get a side video from like hip height side video. Then I upload that to my VeloFit, and its AI will like map everything. And it gives you recommendations on where you're at. But basically, I'm looking to have my knee angle, my fore ab to be spot on to what my Volante fit is. That makes it the easiest. So, yeah, happy Friday. Hope all is going good for everyone. I know it takes a little while for people to start jumping on this train. But yeah, if you guys got any training questions, any personal questions, any nutrition, any whatever questions, go for it. Let me know. I'd love to answer them. Peanuts. Dude, I'm more a pistachio guy. I like the pistachios. I find pistachios are less messy. And, I don't know. They tend to taste better to me, so I am a pistachio guy through and through. Man, look at my heart rate today. Super low. I'm digging that. We better catch up here. Come back. Don't leave me. Come back, group. Come back. Come back, TK bot. And boom. Get some kudos. Dude, the ride bike days were fun. That was fun because I mean, a couple of my teammates were like also my training partners. So much fun riding with them, hanging out. It's a little bit different now with being on the UCI team. Everyone is spread out. The only time I see my teammates is at camps or races. I don't really see them outside of that. But anyways, to answer your question, I don't really do any fasted rides. I don't really believe in them that much. You really have to kind of do them right. So example would be Chris Froome used to do fasted rides. Probably still does. He would wear a glucose monitor and he would have a team car follow him. And they would monitor his glucose, and they would aim to keep it in a certain range. So he'd ride fasted, and if it really started to tank on him, then they would give him just enough food to bring his glucose back up, so he could still kind of remain in that like really fat burning state. And I think that's the problem is a lot of people think, oh, just gonna go ride for 2 hours, no food today, zone 1, zone 2. I mean, I think it's better to fuel your training. That way your adaptations happen better and you can recover better. I don't give any of my athletes fasted rides. My coach never gives me fasted rides. Yeah, I just don't really practice that. So there might be some merit or benefit, but at the end of the day, you're better off just going like, I don't know, if you're doing zone 1, you could go for an hour zone 1, no carbs, you'll be fine. but eat before. Don't go on it on an empty stomach. Like I had breakfast and a couple hours ago, now I'm on the bike. I won't do any carbs this whole session. Zone 2, I mean, you want to be doing at least 40 grams, 40 to 50 an hour. I wouldn't really do anything less than that. So, it's kind of my take on it. Yeah, of course, of course. Any other questions? Just fire them away. Like I said, I'll be recovery spinning here for an hour, and then I'll be done for the day. If you haven't checked out the video, dropped it this morning. I think it's a good video. I don't know. Maybe some people don't, but I don't care. I like it. You know, sometimes I do. Hanging out with a bunch of high schoolers in junior high and watching them do stupid stuff like I did in high school and stuff was always fun. Being able to like help guide them through life, I do kind of miss that. You know, like especially like entering that time of year where winter camps are getting ready to start. I remember just taking kids to winter camp. I remember preaching at high schools. I remember preaching at winter camp. It's just, yeah, I do miss it from time to time, not gonna lie. I did get super burned out though. The church I worked at, I was there for 6 years. When I started, I was a youth pastor. Like that's all I did was youth stuff. And I preached, I don't know, every 2 or 3 months maybe. By the time I left, I pretty much was an associate pastor. Like they were getting ready to give me that title. And I ran the worship team. So not only did I run the youth program, but I ran the worship team and facilitated practices, things like that. Did that every Sunday. I was also like, our tech department, because of COVID and stuff, really kicked up. I brought us on the live streaming. I handled all of that. I had to train people how to do that. I started preaching once a month, which was a lot because I would lead worship and then preach and then close out the service with worship. And it was like super busy. And I would go on vacations and my phone would be blowing up because they would need stuff over the weekends at church, need help with things. And yeah, I just got burned out hard. So when we moved back east, I was like, I'm just gonna focus on my coaching business. That's the other thing, I was running a coaching business at the same time too. But I'm just gonna focus on my coaching business, just put more time into that, grow it. I told myself I was gonna like invest more in YouTube and just grow my YouTube presence. I didn't do that. This year though, I told myself we're doing it. And since September, October, been really consistent about it. So we're gonna start growing the channel hopefully. If it doesn't grow, it doesn't grow, but we're gonna make content, see what happens. So, kind of where I'm at on the whole youth pastor thing. Will I go back to it? I think one day. Maybe go back as an associate or something. Yeah, just burned out. I'm still kind of like, I get nervous about going to church because I don't want to get wrapped into some leadership role. And it's just, yeah, I'm just kind of burned out on it, to be honest. Right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved it. But right now I'm in a different season. I've been enjoying training and riding my bike. It's a lot easier to train now too without the full-time church job. I get to travel, see things that I haven't seen. Super cool. So there's positives and negatives to it, but yeah, like when I'm done racing, you know, it could be next year, it could be 5 years from now, who knows. But when I'm done, I'll probably honestly run the coaching business still, but I may also maybe jump back into ministry. We'll see. All depends on God's timing. Food allergies? Dang, dude, that sucks. Peanuts are okay. My wife likes peanuts. You said pistachios are my go-to. Oh, kudos. Kudos to everyone. I actually don't. I don't have my meals planned out. I mean, me and my wife will sometimes plan out dinner. I'll be honest, I'm a creature of habit. I eat a lot of the same things almost every day. Like my go-to breakfast lately has just been toast with peanut butter on it and banana and honey. It's a good amount of carbs, whole grain toast, like, yeah, good protein fat ratio. It's just been my go-to. This morning, since I'm on a recovery day, I toned down the carbs on my breakfast. So I went with yogurt, granola, banana, and honey. I don't even know what I'm gonna have for lunch yet. When I got off the bike, I'm like, what should I have for lunch? Figure that one out. I think I'm actually eating out tonight. We're going over to this, it's a town, I don't know, quite a ways over. Anyways, we're gonna go to it. Their fire department has a floor where they set it up with a model railroad for Christmas. And I like trains and model trains, so we're gonna go check that out and then go grab dinner at this cool, go check it out. It's cool, eat at this Italian place afterwards, so excited for that. Dude, Scott, yes, that is me. I used to eat a lot of blueberry pancakes. I don't know, the toast is easy. Just toast it, throw some stuff on, boom, it's ready to go. 5 minutes. Blueberry pancakes were awesome. I love them. I had to like cream cheese and cottage cheese into a blender, egg whites into a blender, oats into a blender, blend it all up, add some baking powder, then it was ready to go. Throw it on the stovetop, sprinkle on some blueberries, bada bing bada boom, blueberry pancakes, and then for me, just a little bit of maple syrup. Just kidding, we all knew I dumped that junk on there. Love me maple syrup. Oh, walnuts. Can't forget the walnuts. Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I just haven't, I'll probably get back in that phase, but it was just a pain every morning. Like, okay, it wasn't a pain. like I said, it's just easier to make toast. I'm lazy right now. Yeah, I don't feel like cleaning the blender every time and all that stuff, but those are good pancakes. I actually got into homemade buttermilk pancakes there for a while. Like I was buying buttermilk, cinnamon goes into them. Like I would make it all up, like the dry ingredients. I throw, I think it was like an egg, buttermilk, and then the flour cinnamon mix. And throw that on, and those are fire. Those are so good. Yeah, keep the questions coming. I'm on here for about another 40 minutes, and then I'll be done. Yeah, did anyone notice Tyler changed his channel name from The Vegan Cyclist to BC Adventures? I don't know if I like that. Because he was always like, you know, whatever you brand yourself, stick with it. Don't ever change it. And what else did he say? Don't pick something stupid like The Vegan Cyclist. I remember he started down that journey, and then he actually ended up hating calling himself that. I don't know if he still feels that way, but that's what a couple years ago he told me that. But man, he changed it to BC Adventures. I don't like, if I didn't know him as the Vegan Cyclist, I'd be like, what does VC stand for? Because he no longer talks about, you know, being vegan. Like he doesn't really, when he first started the channel, he used to talk about it. He used to talk about being vegan. He used to talk about what he ate. He used to talk about what he eats on rides. Granted, he still shows like what he eats, but he doesn't go, oh, I'm vegan because of this and that, and this is what I do. Like, it's gotten away from that, and I think that's why he kind of wishes he didn't pick The Vegan Cyclist. But everyone knows him by that name, and now it's BC Adventures. I don't know. It's different. I miss some of the old content he used to make. He had some good stuff. I mean, like, I think that's kind of where I think that's kind of where like I get a lot of my, not ideas, but that's how my channel kind of goes the way it went. Is because he used to do like workout breakdowns, and he used to do, you know, riding with the bros and race breakdowns, things like that. Now he does like, you know, the whole gravel thing, like the whole impossible routes, all that, which is really cool. It's just not what he used to do. He used to do product reviews. For me, I just kind of stuck with that. I'll do product reviews here and there, and I only do it on stuff I like. And then I also, obviously I do the vlogs. I share with you what I'm actually doing in my everyday life, in my training. I try to provide explanations about workout videos, things like that. Yeah, he does say, hi, VC here, but that was also what his channel name was, The Vegan Cyclist. So like when you'd be like, oh, The Vegan Cyclist, you knew that VC stands for Vegan Cyclist. Now if you go to VC Adventures and he goes, hey, VC here, yeah, you know, you don't know who that is. You're like, well, what is VC? I don't know. It's different, but he only ate Chipotle and fruit. He did it one time, that and broccoli. Dude, when we did Yosemite So me, him, and Tony, someone said you should do a camp. And then he met with me and Tony and we're like, dude, what if we did a camp? What if we did a Yosemite cycling camp? I was like, I'm on board. So, that was sick, but a Yosemite cycling camp, dude, we ate, it was a vegan spread. Like, that was well known on the website. Like, if you're coming to VC's camp, vegan cyclist, Yosemite cycling camp, it's gonna be vegan. And he'd always say, like, he'd have this map, and he'd be like, places to kill animals, like a joke. And he'd be like, I don't know, the Bass Lake, I can't remember the name of it now. Bass Lake, whatever. They got meat and hamburgers. Yeah, I mean, the spread would be potatoes, rice, broccoli, fruits, Brussels sprouts. It was intense. It was a lot of nuts, things like that. But anyways, that Yosemite cycling camp was sick. Met a lot of cool people. You can't do it anymore because Yosemite's cracking down on tours. Like, you can get fined and thrown in jail for leading tours. So, and it's not just cycling tours, it's just tours in general. But, Ian, another cold day. Kind of, it's like drizzly outside. It's like lightly raining on and off. And today is an hour recovery spin, so just riding inside, easy 1 hour. Oh, that's sick. You have one of those workouts on Zwift, yeah. Yeah, he used to get those from his coach. Like, Tony would make them, and he would then go and break them down and give them to the general public. Like, that's how I did it. It's kind of cool. And he was the one that told me, he was like, dude, you should make a channel that's just about workout of the week. Like, there's a market for that. No one's doing that. So that's how I started my channel. If you go back to the very beginning of my channel, the video quality was I had to custom make my own graphics and stuff, which was a pain. But yeah, I just started with like workouts of the week. Let's talk about 4-minute VO2 intervals. Why you want to do them, why they're important, how you want to do them, how you want to structure them through a training plan. Let's talk about sweet spot, how to build time there. Like, that's what I started with. That's how the channel grew. Then I started doing race breakdowns. But since being pro, I don't race crits much anymore. Or I don't race locally as much anymore either. Plus the East Coast, I'm sorry if anyone's on the East Coast. East Coast kind of, it's not the best for racing. All they do is crits. The crits are always just kind of in the summer. In California, and especially NorCal, Northern California, our race season started in mid-February and it ended mid-September. And it would start with road races, and then midsummer it would go into crits, and then in the fall it would go back to road racing. Dude, there are like no road races on the East Coast. Like Maryland, Pennsylvania, really no road races. And I love road races. So it's a little frustrating. But that's why I haven't been doing race breakdowns. Plus being on a UCI team, it's hard to do race breakdowns because you have to go to the UCI, get written consent to be able to film. Then you need to go to the race organizer and get written consent from them to film. And if you don't always know what races you're going to, what races you aren't, you might get called in last minute to go to a race, and it's like, it takes a couple of weeks to get all that information back from everyone. So I haven't tried. Plus, if you try filming without doing that, you could possibly get fined, or even worse, just get disqualified. So, yeah, we did a couple videos together. I know we probably did one in Yosemite for sure. I want to say we did one around, maybe we went to maybe it was like up in the Shaver Lake area. We rode through like McKinley Grove, the big trees, things like that. Yeah, cool stuff. That year I did the sweet spot video. I did a crap ton of sweet spot. I was almost over how much sweet spot I did, but it is intense. Anyways, 30 minutes left. Squirrel! 30 minutes left. Let's get more questions in. Yeah, no, I do know Coley Moore. So, my coach, do you know Tim Cusick? Tim Cusick from Base Camp Coaching, all that. Tim Cusick often goes onto his podcast, and they'll talk about stuff, and they're like always in agreement. So, I do like listening to Coley Moore stuff. And my coach and him are like kind of in the same camp when it comes to stuff. But yeah, that's where a lot of my training is kind of similar to his. I mean, a lot of the stuff you see me doing, it's kind of similar to his philosophy. But yeah. Anyways. Yeah, the VO2 stuff's cool. So for me personally, we do both. When I say we, me and my coach Tim, we do both. So like we'll do your standard VO2 like on Tuesday, then on Saturday, and then depending on how the fitness is, we'll turn that into like block style training where we'll do like 2 days of VO2, 2 days of rest, 2 days of VO2, 2 days of rest. It's really interesting. But yeah. Yeah, dude, sweet spot is still good. I think 80 by 20 has grown in popularity, like the polarized method. But I think there's a time in the season to use the 80 by 20 or the polarized. And I think that time of year is during race season. During race season, you use your races and other training days as your really hard training days. And then you have a lot of easy days. During the off season, I don't think 80 by 20 is a good rule because, I mean, you need to build the base. So if this is your FTP and you want to move this FTP up, you can either drag it up from doing high intensity, or you can push it up by doing aerobic base building. Anything aerobic is going to be zone 2, it's going to be zone 3 tempo work, it's going to be sweet spot. Threshold work is now on the edge of pushing and pulling. So you want to like push everything up from the bottom through the off season, get that as high as possible, maximize as possible. And then when you enter season, or you turn it on and you start doing the VO2 stuff, then you want to take that threshold, you want to start to pull it up from VO2, from anaerobic, and go that route. So I think there's a time of year for it. Example, the Maryland Cycling Classic. We did the Tour of Boats in June, like June 18th. That gave me July and August, 2 months two and a half months to prepare for the Maryland Cycling Classic. So for July, I think I rode my bike 90 hours that month. For July, I did mostly zone 2, a lot of tempo. I did a little bit of sweet spot, but I was doing 23-hour weeks, and I was pushing FTP up from the bottom. So then we got to here. Okay, so FTP's here. We pushed for a month. Then as we got to the end of July, we switched from doing zone 2, tempo, sweet spot, and then all we focused on was VO2 max. And then we pulled it up more. And then that's where I arrived for Maryland Cycling Classic. That's how we went about pushing and then pulling my threshold. So when I entered, at the end of that base build, I think my threshold was around 350-ish, 355. And then when we pulled with the VO2, we pulled it up to 365, 370. It was pretty insane. So I started doing intervals, 20 minutes, 360, no problem. It was crazy. I remember I was doing like 390 for almost 10 minutes. I was doing it for 10 minutes. It was, yeah. So we pushed, and then we pulled. And that's how it worked. So. Yeah, no, sweet spot's really good. You have to always progress. You don't just want to do 2x20 every single week. You might do 2x20 the first week. Next week, maybe you do 3x20. The next week, you do 2x30. The next week, well, it should be a rest week then, but then you get into another block. Then you go 3x30. Then you go 2x40. Then you can go 3x40. And that's kind of the cap. No more than that. That's what I'm doing with tempo right now. Our goal by the end of this next training block is to be able to do 2 hours of tempo. So this week, I did 40 minutes straight tempo on Tuesday. Tuesday I did 1 hour straight tempo. So I'm halfway there. Tomorrow I have my tempo workout. He's actually going to change it because I'm feeling it feels really easy to me, and everything's going really well. So we're tweaking. So I might do 1 hour 15 tomorrow at tempo. We'll see. So think about tempo. Tempo is like 75 to 85%. You're hitting a little bit on sweet spot. So example, my threshold we have set at 340. Now I'm doing tempo at 300. Whatever that percentage is. We think my threshold's higher. We think it's more like 345 or 350. But we just have it at 340 right now. Because if you guys saw that test I failed, we didn't get a good read on where it actually is. So we just bumped it up 10 watts, said let's see how things go. Things are going really easy. Well, they're not easy, but I'm recovering every day. I feel amazing. So yeah, it's kind of in that like 75 to like 85 range. Sweet spot I recommend for off-season riding 10 hours a week. That is a good question. I would say first you need to understand what you can do. So over, maybe it's the course of, let's do one block. So a training block is 3 weeks. So you're on week 1, week 2, week 3. Maybe your goal is to build up to 60 minutes of sweet spot by the time you finish those 3 weeks. So week 1, you start with like 30 minutes. So go 2 by 15. You know, boom, boom. The next week, you go 45 minutes. So maybe you go 3 by 15. The third week, you now want to go an hour. So maybe you go 3 by 20 to get to an hour. You only want to do that like twice a week. Spread the days out. Maybe go Tuesday and Saturday. Then Wednesday, Thursday can be more zone 2 riding. Recovery day on Friday. Then knock it out again. So that's kind of what I would do. So how many minutes at tempo? Clarify that for me really quick. I'm semi-confused. Okay, when you do your tempo effort, what is the interval? Okay, yeah, that's great. So because I carried more fitness this year, so this is just for me, so I wouldn't recommend this for someone like you. I would, well, not you specifically, but a lot of my athletes, I break it up in smaller chunks. For me, we started with, let's do 30 minutes, straight tempo, that's the interval. I did that and was like, that was easy. Then it was, let's do 40 minutes, straight tempo. That was the interval. I did 40 minutes. Again, I was like, that was easy. The next session I was supposed to do 45 minutes, but he said, my coach said, let's do 60 minutes. See how you handle that. So I did 60 minutes. I felt very comfortable. It wasn't easy, but also wasn't hard. I was never like, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to get through this. But I did 60 minutes, solid. That was the interval. So, trying to think. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. Like, usually when he prescribes the tempo, because of my CTL being over 100, my fitness is over 100, the aerobic base I have that's carried over from last season. Last season was like an 800 plus hour a year. I had something ridiculous, like 100 plus rides over 4 hours last year. It's a little too high, but we really built and leaned into the foundation of taking FTP and moving it up from the bottom. So we moved it up and then dragged it up. Then when I took a 2-week break, it came down a bit. And within 4 weeks, it came back up. And now we're just pushing with tempo, and I'm handling it well. So, yeah, but if you're someone at home, I would do tempo. Like if your goal is, hey, I want to be able to do an hour or an hour and a half of tempo. Start with, 2 by 20s. That'll give you 40 minutes of tempo. Then you can build it into 2 by 30s. That will give you an hour. Then you can build it into, maybe it's 1 by 45. That gives you 45 minutes. And then maybe build it into either like 3 by 30 or 2 by 45 to get you to an hour and a half. But still, that's a lot. So you gotta do what you can handle and set realistic expectations. And you might need to spend 2 training blocks on it. So if your goal, which would mean 4 weeks, no, it would mean 8 weeks, 2 training blocks, 8 weeks. Your goal is to do an hour and a half of tempo. You need to work on getting towards 45 to 60 minutes of tempo in the first block. And then the second block, you already want to start out at 60 minutes and try to get to an hour and a half for it in the final week. So hopefully that helps. What are your thoughts on Trainer Road? I don't like Trainer Road, sorry. Recently started going down the rabbit hole of coaching, looking at base camp, imperial cycling. I don't race in old and I'm kind of at a loss. Okay, so first off, if you're looking for a coach and you can spend the money, dude, hit me up, email me. I'd like to chat with you. I have a couple spots available for more athletes this year. So, that's the first one. I'd love to work with you. The second one is the base camp program is cool. My coach runs that program. I actually show up into some of their Zwift rides because he invites me and we're like, hey, Crow, the chat server is riding with us. Like, people like that stuff. That's a good program. I don't know much about imperial cycling. I know that's, what's his name, right? Colin Moore or whatever. Yeah. So I'm an option. Base camp coaches are an option. The base camp program is a good option. Trainer road's okay. I think people plateau really quickly on trainer road because I'm not a big fan of AI. I think AI just can't fully recommend for someone what, someone like me could or someone like a good coach can. Because, you look at the charts, you talk to them, take in their actual fatigue, and then you can go from there. I think trainer road's like a good introduction to structured training. It's definitely better than Zwift. I don't think the Zwift workouts are that great. Trainer road's okay though. It'll get you going in the right direction. I think if you really want to make gains and maximize it, I think you jump into a coach. The one thing I see a lot of people talk about is trainer road is oftentimes it's too hard. Workouts are too hard. They burn out from it, different things like that. And, it's just, if you have a real coach, one, my responsibility is to make you as fit as possible and as fast as possible. Two, my other responsibility is to tell you to rest when you need to rest. Even when you go, I don't want to take 2 weeks off into the season, I feel fine. I don't care. Like, you legit need the rest. You want to get fast. So I think a real coach is a big benefit. Yeah, hit me up if you're interested. If not, no hard feelings. What up, Michael? Back in the CCBC, ATC days. Oh, yeah. Nice. Dude, Keeper, definitely email me. All my videos have my link, my email in the description. We can do a Zoom call. We can jump on and do a Zoom call. We can talk through your goals. I can talk to you about coaching, pricing, things like that. Like I said, I'm not the only option. There's other options too. So, but I'm definitely interested to talk to you. Let me know. Someone asked where my first race of the year is. Greece. Going to Greece. Greece in March. Where do you anticipate the high Kings work benefiting you in the upcoming race seasons? Honestly, dude, when I race at a 90 to 94 Kings. When I train at 85 to 88. It's really weird. But when you're racing, you're more in tune. And you're more on the pedals. Climbs is nice. Being able to spin at a higher cadence of climbs. The more I can do a high cadence in a race, the less muscular fatigue I'm going to have. I'm going to keep things fresher. Light is fast. The other thing is, what else about races? Yeah, just being able to spin makes a difference. So, plus if I'm operating at a higher cadence, my aerobic system is going to be a little better. So that's the other cool thing is, maybe my legs are fresh, but my heart rate's going through the roof. I can just drop it down to a lower cadence and do that and bring my heart rate down. You can kind of control your heart rate with cadence. So that's another plus to doing it. I think that's how it's going to benefit me. So, epic K1, 28 minutes, 270. That's not bad. It's not bad, children. Breakdown on trainer road. Quick. 4 AI. Back with high volume, sweet spot, base highlight. Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem with trainer road. Like, you jump in and you just trust the program. And then, yeah, you kind of sometimes can get yourself in a hole. Plus, being like self-coached via that program, you tell yourself it's okay to like push yourself into the ground because that's what the pros do. And it's really not. Like me and my coach, he was honest with me. He's like, listen, with tempo, we're going to walk a fine line. We're going to take you to the edge without taking you over the edge. So we'll take you to the points where it's like, yeah, it's too much fatigue, the adaptation is slowing down, we need to pull back. And it's like, that sounds super scary, but I'm also glad that he's in my court because he's going to make sure that we don't overtrain and we do it right. And I trust him, 100%. That's the biggest thing, you got to trust the coach. And if you have the budget, look into hiring a coach. Again, I'm available. I have room. Elevate Coaching. The website is elevatecoachingllc.com. Because Elevate Coaching was taken by some, I don't even know, like self-coaching thing. Anyways, hit me up. Even if you don't like take me on, I'd love to like just chat and see how I can help you. But we are almost done with the recovery rides today. Morning, afternoon, evening, what up? It's, what time is it? Is it almost 2:30? Yeah, it's almost 2:30. It's almost time for lunch. Get some lunch. Oh, it's raining outside. Thank goodness I'm right outside. That bird's getting a bird bath from the tree. Cool. Cool. Oh, dropped a video this morning. So check that out. Talked a lot about not just your typical zone 2 training, but I also talked about the high cadence stuff, low cadence stuff for endurance work. 0 degrees Celsius. Oh, so cold. What are your opinions on telecoaching versus coaching that can meet you in person? So here's my question to you. A coach you can meet in person, how often does that happen? Right? Like, are you gonna have a coach show up and do the workouts with you? Because I don't really know. I know a few coaches that do that. They have like 3 or 4 clients and they get paid like $1,000 a month to do that. Tele-coaching, I think, is completely doable. I communicate with all my athletes. They leave me comments on every workout. I read all of those comments. I might not respond to all of them, but if they have questions and stuff, I respond to them. Other times, I'll just look at their workouts, and then I'll give them, actual feedback. We can also meet over Zoom once a week, and we can talk about what's going on. The other thing that's big is athletes can text me or be like, hey, they'll text me like, hey, you got time for a phone call? Yeah, and then we'll jump on a phone call and we'll talk about whatever it is. The only benefit to having like a coach there in person, I don't know, to be honest. I have a couple people I coach locally that I'll see at group rides or I'll see at races, but I'm not coaching them during the ride. Like, we might do the ride. The only thing is I can see them in person and be like, oh, cool, dude, you're doing this right. Or like, so we had a group ride, we had to finish, And then it was after the group ride. My athlete texted me and was like, hey, on today's group ride, when you hit it at the end and everyone got dropped, except for like 2 people, he was like, I started to go with that, but I couldn't because I felt like I was bonking, like I was out of energy. And that's when I go, well, how much did you eat during the ride? You know, did you eat this much or that much? And then, you know, he explained. But even then, we had that conversation post group ride. Like, we'll chat on group rides, but not as much as you think. You know, we'll chat a little bit like, hey, how's it going, man? How's life at home? That kind of chat, you know? And yeah, there's times where I'm like, hey, dude, how's the workouts going? Like, I'm seeing this in your numbers. I'm just having conversations I would actually have over the phone. They're just a little bit, I don't know, more in person, I guess. But I think if you have someone via tele, it's totally good. Yeah, I think if you have a coach in person, like someone said, it's more of a club thing, usually. You usually don't have coaches like coaching people in person. For me, I'm not, even my athletes on group rides, I'm not really coaching them in person because I'm sharing the same knowledge with everyone. You know, everyone has my time at that moment. Kind of like right now, I'm sharing my knowledge with you. I don't know. I don't see a big deal with hiring a coach who doesn't live by you. I think it's cool that they live by you, but you could also be like shutting down your ability to have maybe a better coach who lives 2 states away versus what you have locally. So I think at the end of the day, you want a good coach who knows what he's doing, who knows your goals, who can take you where you need to go. I'm not saying a local guy can't do that, but if you're only sticking to local guys, there's a lot of great coaches out there around the globe that you're going to miss out on. So that's just kind of my opinion. Like Tim Cusick, when I lived in California, I wanted him to coach me. He was too busy, couldn't do it, so I worked with Scott Monitor, who was under him. And Scott lived in Colorado, but I was coached by him. Moved here, still coached by him, and then a year and a half ago, Tim had a spot open up, and I moved up to Tim, and he only lives like an hour and a half away from me. I've literally seen him twice. I've met up with him twice in person. But we talk on Zoom once a week. Every Monday, we have a Zoom meeting and we chat. All right, I got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, and then no more questions. We're done. I'm done, disease. Yes, I'm in Pennsylvania. I live right on the border, so if I go a half mile up the street, I'm in Maryland. I live in New Freedom, Pennsylvania. I do a lot of the PA races when I'm here. What I mean by that is, you know, I'm usually in Europe racing. I'll do some of the Maryland ones when I'm here, but it's kind of it. Spin felt good. Look at my heart rate. I like that. I like the heart rate being low. Oh no, it's going up. I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. Oh, you're out in like Columbia, Maryland. Cool. I coached someone, Christopher. Oh, what is his last name? I can't remember Chris's last name. Anyways, he's kind of down in the DC, Maryland area. Coach him. I got a guy down in Reisterstown, Maryland. I coach. I got a guy like literally 5 minutes from my house. I started coaching 2 months ago. he's getting crazy strong, crazy fast. The rest of them are, I coach in Canada, California, New York, DC, Florida. I'm trying to think where everyone's at. That person's there. California again. I got more on the list. Where are they all at? Minnesota, Louisiana, Tennessee. Yeah. Anyways, clients all over. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Cool. All right. Just under 2 minutes left. Hey, I want to say thank you. One, for checking out the vlogs and the videos. I know they're all kind of like the vlog format. I hope that's cool. I hope it doesn't get boring or old. I'm always trying to keep them, moving and interesting. So, but yeah, thanks for checking those out. That's huge. Like I said, I dropped the video this morning. Check that out. What else is there? Yeah, just really appreciate you guys stopping in a day. I think we had up to maybe 25 people at one time, so that's cool. I used to have like 100-something people on these live streams, but obviously I haven't done them in a couple of years. So I'm getting back into doing it. Anytime I jump on Zwift, trying to use that as a moment to live stream with you guys. So again, thank you for joining in, asking the questions. I think that's kind of it. Today was now a recovery spin. I didn't film any vlog today. Tomorrow is supposed to be 60 degrees outside. So I'm gonna go do the group ride. I'll vlog tomorrow. I'll vlog the weekend. I might drop that video on Monday. I know Mondays, the videos seem to do decent. Wednesdays seem to do pretty good. And then Fridays, I've been trying different days, but I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those 3 days, I get a decent push from YouTube. It seems like a lot of you guys are on watching. So I haven't tried Saturdays yet, but I don't know. I like dropping on Fridays. I think it's cool. YouTube is a weird thing. Anyways, thanks for stopping in, guys. Super appreciate it. With that, y'all have a good Friday and have a good weekend. I'll catch you guys. Sunday. Before I leave, Sunday I created the event Team Skyline Ride here on Zwift. We are doing. Let me see if I can. What's going on here? Get me out of there, game. Sunday, 9:45 a.m. How do I end my ride? Where's the button at? Oh, duh. End ride. Okay. Sunday, 9:45 a.m. We're doing a 100-kilometer ride, 62 miles, and I created the event. Oh, that's probably not going to show up here, is it? Can we go here? Oh. Dang it, I wanted to show you it. Anyways, there's an event going on. It's going to be Team Skyline. You get to unlock the kit I was just wearing in the game. If you do the event and you complete the event, you unlock the kit. It's 100 kilometers, 62 miles on here. It's supposed to rain here on Sunday, so that's why I set it up for Sunday. I'll be ride leader, so as long as it rains, I'll be there. If it doesn't rain, it's supposed to be warm, so then I'm going to go out and ride. But if it rains, I ain't riding outside, but I have to ride 4.5 hours that day. So I'll have that event 9:45 a.m. East Coast time, Eastern Standard Time Zone. You can find it on Zwift. It's going to be in the event section, December 3rd, Sunday. Anyways, 100 kilometers on Ride Leader. Join me. Unlock the Skyline kit within the game, and it'll be fun. It's not going to be like full gas race or anything like that. It's gonna be my zone 2. I'm just going to ride zone 2, maybe 3 watts per kilo. It's probably be like 3.0 to 3.5 watts per kilo, kind of in that range. We're doing the big gear loop. I actually really dig that loop. Yeah, anyways, that's Sunday. So thank you all for stopping in. That's all I got, and I will see you guys next time.